Roars in the night, what will it be? I remember 4 lions into my mind, shadows revealing the awful plan, ruins of walls of gold. All you believe is dead, faithless and liars, cowards and witches on board. Greetings, Harbingers. Welcome to Yliaster, PewDiePie's favorite channel. How'd you like my singing? Leave it in the comments. I know it sucks. Today's video, we're going to talk about something called Bonfire of the Vanities. Chasing the wind will lead you nowhere. What is Bonfire of the Vanities? Before that, subscribe, give the thumbs up, help a brother out. Thank you so much. Let's go to the video. Well, to talk about Bonfire of the Vanities, let's go back in time and talk about Girolamo Savonarola in 1497, where this fatidic event, Bonfire of the Vanities, took place. Girolamo Savonarola was a Dominican preacher in Renaissance Florence. I have a few notes here, okay, so I can keep the train of thought. It's too much information for one to memorize for a YouTube video, so stick with me. I promise this is gonna be interesting. Savonarola became influential due to his fierce sermons advocating religious and moral reforms. He condemned the moral corruption and the excesses of church and society back in 1497. On February 7th of the same year, Savonarola organized the event called Bonfire of the Vanities. The event aimed to purge items in the city that were considered vile and sinful. That included artworks, books, cosmetics, fine clothes, and other luxury items. And let me make a parenthesis here. I think a lot of times in history, religions have gone too far in some sort of blind faith, and thus getting in the way of a scientific advancement. And as a believer in something greater, I acknowledge that I think we should be way more advanced in some aspects should religion wouldn't interfere in human development so much. There is the good part too, the values, everything that makes, for example, the West what we are today, but I think there are some dark loose ends in history that contain some knowledge that could be useful for us today. Anyway, I divagate. The Bonfire of the Vanities was a message to symbolize the return of simplicity and rejection to materialism. Imagine what Savonarola would do if he'd see how the world is like today, right? So why am I telling you all this? What does it have to do with today's video, and what lessons can we learn from this, and can we even make an analogy with today's world to get another religious reference, if you will? In the book of Ecclesiastes, King Solomon, to a significant extent, uses the term chasing the wind, arguing that all the things we do, all the things we chase are nothing but vanity, because it all will turn to nothing. It's all already faded to demise and self-destruction. And you know, he's right. You don't need to think too hard to acknowledge that. We humans, we mankind, are on a journey making decisions. Every single decision we make, we are thinking about how that decision will improve our lives with the tools and knowledge at our disposal. So I'm going to make a guess here and draw some Ayn Rand train of thought on that subject. A person who works for themselves and their self-betterment are the ones who are actually helping others and society. That's not something that Ayn Rand said, but I think it's something someone like her would convey. I just remembered that, and I think it's pertinent to have it in this video. So we are all making decisions that we think is going to lead us to success. And believe it or not, even I'm going to give the opposite example, even that junkie making a decision toward the high is thinking that thing is doing them some good because their goal is to feel the high of a substance. For them, that's all that matters. It's a very specific example, but I just want to point out that the decisions we make can actually guide us to a higher state or destroy our lives. The human perception of what we want is kind of the same thing because it's not that hard to want to draw themselves in something bad, an addiction or whatever, and that of course goes to the good things as well. So I encourage you to chase the good things, to chase success, but don't let that to cost your sanity. And even though you need to push hard to get there, it's a thin line. I hope you understand what I'm trying to propose here. This chase for success can lead us to traps that manifests in form of vanity, luxury, dopamine excess, unwavering chase for small pleasures that won't do us good in the long run, but keeps us in our default mode without being able to actually evolve. So I use the junkie extreme example, but it could be on licit things as well. I talk a lot about this in the channel, I won't extend this point here. I encourage you to be successful and search for the material, even though I didn't even got there myself, but I believe when I get there, or if my sense of fulfillment will be resignified. I don't even know if that's a word, resignified. Alright. And something that was encrypted in my mind for my lack of experience on that will be rewritten into a new paradigm. So I won't let myself be attached to the material success, even though I want and I work hard to get there, only to find myself in a new state of mind, enjoying fulfillment in the journey just as I'm doing today. If you wish to accelerate your road to success, I tell you, let go of your vanities, let go of your defaulted ways, and try to excel in the basics that will last. So, my friend, set yourself a bonfire and forego thus the things of vanity aspect that is holding you back towards the material success you so desire and you are looking for. If we make an exchange of those things and summon the very strength that lies within us all, trust me, there is, you might be able to accomplish everything in your life. Let me know if that makes sense to you, and see you in the next video. El Psy Congo.